Man, we were so close. Took so long to turn to nighttime. We were so close. Right as the stream started working again, YouTube said, "Sorry, you took too long." I was this close. I was seconds away from recovering the stream. Oh well. Alright, let's catch some Z's. Is there just something with like the 11 o'clock hour? Because I feel like the first half of the stream, everything seems fine. And then like once we get into the second half, I feel like that's when the internet issues show up. Because we were fine for the first part of the stream. Whoever said our internet was upgraded, you liar. Oh well, they're probably just customer support. They're paid to encourage the people or whatever. I am back. I would say not my choice. It was not my choice for things to go down the first time. I watched as the upload speed hit 5 kilobits a second, and then it sat at 0. And then eventually YouTube said, well, I guess he's done. V0.10 Monster might have followed you. Because we were fine all morning, and then we had that little hiccup not too long ago. And then we had the big, I'm gonna take a break. Alright, anyways, what happened was, OBS did not have any more bandwidth to upload. I don't know how. The internet seemed fine when checking the Wi-Fi on my phone. Alright, I think now we're good. I saw that. I saw that micro stutter. Alright, well, hopefully we're fine for the next 50 minutes. Yeah, with all this in place, we're gonna get the water, and we're gonna start flooding these. Because this is where... No way, this pickaxe is still alive. Just like GLaDOS. Well, we're gonna get water and start flooding these, and then we'll build up the wall after that. Do you know what aspects that you prefer more with female protagonists? Do I only have one? Oh no, I do have 5. We'll start with 1 bucket. I don't plan on speedrunning this. Oh, that's right, I can get rid of the egg. Alright, let's put away the seeds though. These are still in my inventory slots. One book series I read back in middle school was, I think it was called The Pirates. Well, instead of an I, it was a Y. Something about kids finding a buried underground pneumatic subway system. The tunnels lead places. I can't remember much of it, but I remember, oh boy, I greatly enjoyed it. The whole series, I think there were 4 books. The whole series were in the school library. And so I read them all and did like a book report or something on 1 or 2 books in the series. One of these days I'll go back and reread it. Should be light reading now since they were kids' books, so they should be shorter. Only a children's book, of course. War and Peace. One book I'm currently reading, in fact it's the only book that I'm currently reading because I want to get through it, Union Pacific by Marie Klein. It is a 650-page documentary style of this book is the first like 30 or so years of the Union Pacific Railroad from 1862. I'm gonna look at the cover real fast. 1862 to 1893. 650 pages of history. But it had a sequel, because this book first released in, I think, 1985. And a few years later, 1989, he released Union Pacific, insert subtitle here, I don't remember. And then that covers from 1893 through, I think, 1969. Like the rebirth of a railroad. Something like that. That's another 650 pages. But wait, there's more, because eventually, in 2011, there ended up being a sequel. A third book in the series, another 650 pages, covering from 1969 all the way to, it says the present, but if it released in 2011, it could be going as far as 2010, 2009. I can't remember. But that's my current reading list. I'm filling all of this with water because I plan on them being covered entirely. I plan on having a solid block right here that would prevent the water from flowing. I should say that would prevent it from flowing continuously. Because I'm going to build dividers, physical dividers between each of these, because I want to put torches on the sides of the wall to keep the plants brighter. And these are currently in the way. Or these would be in the way. S&D Trains, Union Pacific Railroad, was one of the government official, or one of the government ordained railroads contracted to build the Transcontinental Railroad, the other being the Central Pacific, starting in California. That's not true. I never got far. I was gifted last year a random collection of manga, and I read through the ones that were kind of self-contained in terms of only being the first and second volumes, because I don't read anything in the middle. Why'd you want to read C programming language, the book for C, as your first children's book? I can't remember my first children's book. It's probably one of them that is currently boxed up. I wonder if I should temporarily move the bed closer. I wonder how much time I lose walking back and forth. Was that another joke? War and Peace. I could at least tell with sarcasm. Who's splashing around? Yep, that'll do it. I have like 2 or 3 coding books somewhere, and really only one that I've read, kind of. Oh, I should have started at the bottom. Oops, my fault. I'm gonna temporarily block that off. It's gonna bother me. It was a book that came out in 2015 there's a guide for modding Minecraft. So it taught you Java basics and whatnot. and they used 1.8 as the version featured. I feel like I had another one that I think was for JavaScript somewhere that was totally unrelated. I don't know where those are, but they're somewhere. There was also a book that I did read called, I think it's something like Storytelling in Video Games. And it gave references to like movies and other games for telling how to tell stories. Or how to tell, or tips for telling engaging stories through video games. That one was pretty neat. All these books are somewhere, except for Union Pacific, because that's what I'm actively reading. That one, I know, is sitting on my desk. The others are in boxes. Somewhere in this room. Or potentially in the room not too far down the hall from here. Messed that one up, but that's okay. Oopsies. Alright, we're almost done. We're almost done, then I could start placing down the wood for this. I don't know what sort of design I'll do, but I'll figure something out. I could just do basic stripes, kind of like the walls. The wall's way over there. And I don't really know... Oh. Okay, we're good. This wall just barely, if I do ever extend it, this wall will just barely encompass this farm. I don't know if I will finish the wall entirely, because it was supposed to be only on that one side of the river, with the river acting as a natural barrier. I think we might be all set. As long as all these are source blocks, then we'll be good. Now I hear a plane flying over. It's like this is a work day or something. Even if it's a 2001 reprint, that's already 25 years old. You feeling old yet? I don't. I know I'm young still. Well, I think now we can start putting all this stuff away. The cobblestone's gonna have to keep waiting. Maybe. I could do... I might try something. Hello to you as well, welcome to the stream. Let me grab the logs and the planks. There's this image in my mind, but I don't know if it's gonna look good. I'll need dark oak. Is this all the dark oak I have? Oh wait, I've got a lot of planks though. I do have regular oak. Maybe I'll do that instead. Because I was planning on a pattern that involved dark oak planks and dark oak logs. But what if instead I use dark oak planks and regular oak planks? I know there's plenty more dark oak trees. Yes, all those plenties were necessary. There are plenty more dark oak trees around here to chop down, but I'd rather not be wasteful with all the planks, or wasteful with all the logs. I see bad guys spawning in there. I wonder if I should dig out that floor platform. I don't know when I'm gonna get rid of this. We're gonna get rid of it soon, but not yet. And howdy, Jonas, welcome back. So in my mind, let's start over here. I'll need to see if I can do this how I want to do it. So we start with one dark oak there. And then another one here. Unless that one should be the regular oak. But I'll need to see how this meshes when placed sequentially. I wonder... Oh, I have an idea. It's not what I was thinking, but I think it's what we'll do. If I do that, then do that. And then now I just fill this in. That's kind of a complicated start. That's not so bad. I think this is what we'll do. The question now is, how far does this go? I probably should have started at the bottom. Whoops. So it's 2, 3, 2. Hold up, that's not 2. Hold up. How is this 3? Because we've got 1 on top there. Oh boy. Alright, let's find out if I did this wrong. What do I mean removing peer-to-peer? They just added the whole friends list and all of that stuff. What do you mean removing? Did they change their mind already? I just barely heard about the friends list and whatnot. Not that long ago. And I haven't bothered keeping up with snapshots since then. I was on Twitter and I saw people talking about their latest, or I saw Minecraft's, the official Minecraft account's latest promotional video about TwitchCon, and it showed Steve riding a saddled pig in a chest boat minecart, using the spear to push the sulfur cube as it was flying. But half of the comments were talking about, didn't you just remove this feature? They removed peer-to-peer, but not the friends list. But why? Okay, so I think I might have done this wrong. Because if I want that to be... Because I want to use more dark oak than regular oak. Did I pick that up? Hold up. It was in unfinished state, so they removed it. The whole point of snapshots is to test stuff that's unfinished. So the one down here is 2, but the one above that is 3. I think I understand now. So it's basically 3, 3, 3, and most of the 3 down here. I need to see how this looks. So that means that one's 3, that one's 3. And I'll just extend that to there. I don't know what I'll do in the back, but I'll just keep it slanted for now. Add that there. There we go. I think now I have my tileable pattern. Once I get this wall finished, I'll replicate it to all these other little segments. Oh boy. I feel like the experiment experimental toggle or experimental data pack would have been fine as well, but this is probably more of a core problem. I don't think they could do so as such. Anyways, the colors for 2.0 are like different difficulties. Blue, I thought was like the easy mode, red was the hard mode, and then purple was like a combination of the two. I don't remember what the differences were though. The wiki might say. But yeah, red, blue, and purple are difficulty variances. Is this one right? I don't think this one's right. I think this one's too tall from here. Oop, I'll take that, thank you. Is that? I think so. So I need to remember, the regular oak is only 3 tall. As long as I keep the regular oak 3 tall, then everything will be correct. I wonder why they added it so quickly then. Or why they wanted to work on all this friend stuff if they were going to change it so quickly. It feels like modern day Mojang, partly Microsoft's fault, is slow to decision making. I wonder why they reverted it so quickly. I think now this is all set. I'll figure out the torch placement later. But what I know for sure is we're gonna bring this down because I need the space to put the last block. I could flatten this even more, but let me just get all these dividers in place. So let's see, how are we doing on wood? We're gonna run out of dark oak planks. We'll run out of dark oak planks, but we'll at least get as far as we can for now. Yeah, it's difficulty as in difficulty... The difficulty between the versions, right? Between the different colors. I also can't remember what version the pre-release version of 2.0 was. The one that was given to YouTubers. That hooray! Someone was willing to give. I see you, Mr. Spider. I wonder if it is easier to just start from the top and work my way down. Sun's already going down as well. I guess once we get this in place, it'll be time to catch some Z's, and then we'll go from there. Aha, you finally came over to investigate what I was doing. No, Mr. Spider. This area is not for you. This is unsafe to spider kind. That's kind of my fault, though. I'm the one going around swinging the diamond sword. Are those even? Did I do this correctly? I think so. Hooray! But it's time to sleep. Looking at the time, we have, looks like around 25 minutes left of the day. A little more than that. I think we can get this done in time. If we do, then I can start working on the cobblestone for the wall, because I'm pretty sure I ran out. I think I ran out. I ran out right around there. I'll need to get those up. Wait, hold on. They were called, I just learned this, at a history lesson with 3KO last time. It was crenellations, right? I think I remembered the term correctly. Don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. The more you recall the term, the easier it is to recall. I guess that's kind of how it is with any memory. Was that the end? Oh, I got plenty more oak. I'm just about to run out of dark oak. Oops. I should have picked that up before sleeping. My fault. How often do you have family reunions? We used to have family reunions, technically, up until 2020. The last official family reunion was December 2019, New Year's Eve. The reason why is 2020 rolled around, and you aren't supposed to be having reunions in 2020, and then we kind of never went back afterward. Your game crashed. That's what happens with the April Fool's versions. Gatlinburg does not ring any bells. That sounds like a historical place for battles, though, here in the US. If it's in the mountains, hopefully you have nice views up there. Alright, let's grab many more of these. In fact, I'll grab more dark oak than I have oak. So there's 1, there's 2, and then bonus for 3. I'd also put all this cobblestone away. I can't believe I picked up so much of this. I'm pretty sure that's more cobblestone than I've picked up on my last 2 mining trips. Then again, those were regular focused on ore stuff, so it doesn't matter. Any bad guys spawn down there? Nope. I wonder if there's really only a few blocks of proper spawning ground. Because I keep looking over when I pop out of the outpost, expecting to see bad guys just underneath the nether spire. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Sounds like you haven't had a family reunion in a very long time. You being 4? That was many years ago. I did that right? Yes, indeed. I had a trip last year. Was it November? I think it was November. One of the reasons why I wasn't streaming during that time, wasn't streaming regularly during that time. I had a trip up to Oregon to see some family on my dad's side that I haven't seen in forever as well. I feel like family reunions are more, you hear it in stories, but modern day families don't do it much. I've at least met a good chunk of my family from both sides. We don't see each other that often, though. Oopsies. Oopsies. That was a mistake. Pigeon Forge sounds like a place where they equipped carrier pigeons and they trained them to go on these long distance journeys. Probably not, though. But that sounds cooler than whatever the actual history is probably going to end up being for where it got its name. I feel a sneeze coming. No, thank you. Sneeze, sneeze, go away. I'm busy. I don't know the history of carrier pigeons. That was another block. That one right there took a while to render. I'm surprised the one I placed afterward did load, though. Oops. What I'll probably end up doing for that wall over there, I'll probably extend the pattern up a little bit higher. Because I think just building this against the wall might be rather... It might look a little short. Hello. Goodbye. There's one. There's two. I think I landed. Bye-bye. Is it nighttime already? I just slept. I am so looking forward to days lasting 10.5 minutes, because these 8-minute days are so fast. Sure, it's 2.5 minutes, but it makes the difference. It's not nighttime yet, but it's about to be. It's still not nighttime. Can't even check the sun against the horizon. There's too much stuff in the way. Now we can catch some Z's. Alright, back to work. We are getting there. If I'm fast enough, I might be able to finish these last 2 walls before nighttime sets in again. Once we finish the walls, I'll definitely do something with lighting. In fact, oopsies, I might even have enough glowstone that I can put glowstone in the walls instead of just putting torches. They didn't change the length of the days, but when the day-night cycle was added to Pocket Edition, it only had 16 minutes. 16 minutes per cycle. 8 minutes for day, 8 minutes for night. Eventually, that gets changed to match Java Edition's 20 minutes per cycle. But that hasn't happened yet. Just like how we have to wait until 1.1 for the sun to rise in the east and set in the west. For the longest of time, in fact, for almost the entire duration that this was Pocket Edition, before Bedrock, for almost the entirety of Pocket Edition's history, that it had the sun and moon, it rose in the north and set in the south. So 1.1, the last major update before Bedrock, they finally fixed it. They finally fixed the sun and moon orientation. I don't know how nobody noticed it. Probably because there are no map items. The main reason why Java Edition updated the sun and moon orientation is because people using maps noticed that the sun rose at the top of the map and is set at the south. The physical map items in beta 1.6. And so they had to clarify the map is in fact facing correctly, but the sun and moon did not rise and set correctly. So then a few months pass, and the beta 1.9 pre-releases come around. And when they implemented all the sun and moon changes, making it round and the different phases, I believe, they finally correct the orientation. Fixed in 1.0, not 1.1. The wiki said 1.1. I can't guarantee that's correct. We're going to find out. I don't think we're going to find out in this part, though. Because the amount of beta builds there are, for these Android versions at least, I'm pretty sure we're only going to go until 0.11. We'll be back again later on this world, but for part 2 of Through the Android, it's not going that far. It will not see 1.0 and 1.1. They probably kept the square sun and moon for people not liking it enough. I want to say Mojang had a post somewhere where one of the devs stated why they changed it back. They kept the moon phases, but they reverted the shape back. Oops, that's not right. Maybe I should fill this backside in with dirt. So much for trying to carve it down. Oops, this is what happens when you don't plan properly. I would say I almost wonder if Notch said something on his blog and that's where I saw it, but I don't remember how often he used his blog after beta 1.0. Because by that point, during the beta era, Mojang was kind of taking charge as a collective. I'll also need to figure out how I want to handle this backside, because working with a slope like this, I also need to figure out how exactly I'm going to deal with the water. I haven't figured that out yet. I just know the plans in my mind for how I want to do it. We're gonna need a lot of signs, though. You could save that 98 TNT for later, or when you want to go blast mining in the Nether in 1.16. If you want to wait that long. I think we're all done, though. Party potato. The walls are now complete. Hooray! And I have a whole bunch of extra wood that I didn't think I would, or that I did not think I would still have. So at least with all this taken care of, I'm gonna fill this in with dirt, and then I'll do something with light. What I might do, I might replace this block and this block with glowstone. Or perhaps I could do this block and this block. It is 7, so I could do 1, skip, skip, 1, skip, skip, 1 for each of these layers. So that would be a total of 3 glowstone each times 5 sections. So that's 15 times 4. No, there are 5 walls. Or should I say that was 15 times 5? That's 75. Okay, that's a lot of glowstone. I don't know if I have enough. We're gonna check real fast, because I might not. If I don't have enough glowstone for 75 blocks, then I'll end up just using torches. I barely have more than 2 stacks. Well, never mind. Torches it is. Everyone's favorite way of lighting up the world. That's not true, because I feel like modern players don't use torches much. It's lanterns, it's glowstone, sea lanterns. Candles. Okay, maybe not. I don't know how often I see candles in modern builds. Redstone lamps. I'm just old school, that's why I still use torches for nearly everything. Glowstone is a luxury, and I don't spend a lot of time on worlds that have redstone lamps. I also haven't been spending time on my beta 1.8 world recently. I wanted to get back to it, I just haven't done so. I still have plenty more on my to-do list. But at the same time, last year, there were also times where I would not do much progress on the world. Alright, let me say I do remember the recent times of Jeb saying, I don't remember if it was Jeb saying it, but it was whoever he was talking with mentioned that the official website stated slabs reduced creativity. And I'm still wondering what sort of technical things are we waiting for? Because there's got to be a reason. They may not acknowledge community outcry, but I know they are at least aware of big stuff. There's a reason they haven't talked about the end update. There's a reason they haven't talked about vertical slabs. They recently made the video I was saying about using the sulfur cubes and boats for a flying machine. So I know they at least watch big YouTubers do stuff and what they talk about. There is somewhere on Discord, there is like an official server where big creators, select individuals get to talk directly to Mojang devs. I don't know who all is in it, but someone mentioned it somewhere. And so some days I wonder what is going on in there. This was brought about however long ago because YouTubers were complaining about something. Some sort of change brought about by Microsoft or Mojang within the past couple of years maybe. 24, 25 was when it happened. Can't remember what it was, but I remember that someone said in that server, a lot of the YouTubers were complaining about that. It wasn't just us regular players in the community. Alright, so now, if I want to make sure this is properly lit, we're going to have to go to the darkest spot. And we have to make sure that as long as the darkest area is bright enough, then it will be scalable for the areas that are not the darkest. In fact, because everything is in groups of 3, it's easy to just put on the side there. I would shift it over by 1, except that doesn't work here, because, in fact, I would put the torch there, and I guess it would be there. You know what, we'll try that. Let me move this over. Instead of having the torches on the sides of the blocks, put them in the middle. Or instead of the side of the pattern, the middle of the pattern. This really does feel like it belongs here, but I can't do that. That's where the crop is gonna go. I almost think this is using less torches than what I was expecting. Because I think now I'm only placing 2 per pattern instead of 3. Which means if I swap this out with glowstone, it might work. Alright, well if I do that, let's see. So per wall, how many do I have? 11 times 5 walls, that's 55. I only need 55 glowstone. That's still not enough because I only have 34. I'm still very short on glowstone. Oh well. So I don't think we'll get the plants in today, but we'll at least have a good starting point. Because we only have a few minutes left. And I still need to do the water control area. It's going to be a very slow process and a lot of manual work. But this is what you gotta do when you don't have pistons. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're almost done, I feel. I don't know why, it feels like the series has been going slow. Not in the episodes and filming and whatnot. It feels like I'm just slow on progress on here. And I don't know if that's because I remember things going by faster, or if that's because UMP used to go fast because I already had quick access to nearly everything that didn't require traveling thousands of blocks to acquire. This very well could be the same pace as previously. I've been doing good these past few episodes while I work on the farm. When I have a clear goal, I'm better at getting stuff done. There's another stack of torches we're about to run out of, but that's okay, I still have plenty more. Do we know? Well, here's a question. Have you looked at whatever wiki pages that show RC1 having be creative? Because I will admit, I did not remember hearing of that until last year. But do we know when the pages were edited? I feel like the discontinued features wiki might have been edited first, but don't quote me on that. Are you the first one? That'd be wild if you were. I feel like start pressing B in 1.8 pre-1, and then go all the way until every snapshot even, until maybe, I don't know, you want to give up at 1.7? So stop at the end of the 1.6. I guess stop at the end of 1.6.4. I don't know, it's kind of arbitrary. But that's going to save you a lot of snapshots from when the development cycle was extended. Because looking back, there were not too many snapshots for major versions until around 1.7, 1.8. But you know, that doesn't look bad. That cow's gonna have to go though, because I don't want him stepping on the crops and pancaking them. But nighttime is here. We are also right at the end of the stream, so if you have any final thoughts, start saying them now. I want to place down a few more torches over here, and then we'll head off to bed. August 24th, 2025. That was last summer. So no one tried pressing B in any of the other 1.0 or 1.1 snapshots? Interesting. Yeah, time to head off to bed, and then that'll be it. We'll be back again. Today's Wednesday, so we'll be back on Friday. What's Friday? The 29th. After Friday's stream, hopefully Sunday the 31st, I celebrate the 11 year of Minecraft nostalgia. But yeah, that's all it for this time. Thank you all for watching. Bye.